The International Olympic Committee is in Chicago. They're looking under the hood. They're kicking the tires. Is Chicago the right place for the Olympics in 2016? Some say yes. Some think no. We're going to explore that on Political Update, coming up right now. And welcome to Political Update. I'm Paul Lisnek. Well, the International Olympic Committee is in Chicago, and they are looking around to find out if we are the right place for the 2016 Olympics to be held. Not everybody agrees that they should be here. A lot of people are in favor of it. My job, let's find out what the issues are and exactly where we stand. To begin the show, joining me to explore that question is the man who probably has most of the answers, and that is Mayor Gerald Bennett, mayor of Palos Hills. But in this particular show, Mr. Mayor, we're going to ask you to wear a couple of other hats. You're co-chair of the Mayor's Coordinating Committee of the 2016 Olympics, and you're also chair of CMAP, which deals with the Chicago metropolitan area's planning, very involved in the future. As I say, first of all, the International Committee is here. They're looking around. They're kicking the tires. How's it all going?
It's a critical point for the selection of the various cities for the committee to come in here and visit Chicago. The city of Chicago presented a book to them some 3 or 4 months ago, citing about 13 different venues at the various venues where the games will be held. And the committee's basically in here to check it out, make sure that what they put in that book is verified on an actual on-site visit.
Now, there's some people who are thinking, we're trying to put we are putting our best foot forward. We're going to take them down the streets. And my understanding is we've repaved the streets they're going to go on. If they just took a couple of blocks over, they'll find some of the potholes that I'm driving in. Are they getting a true and accurate representation of the city? Oh,
I think they will. I think some of the members came in earlier, maybe a couple of days prior to the official start of this review, and kind of get a look-see themselves. Check under the hood, take the L, take a bus, go visit some of the sites of the city of Chicago. So I think, in true honesty, they're going to get a good picture of it. They're not fools. They've been around to and review other Olympic sites, and they've got 3 more after Chicago. So I think they're pretty aware of the whole picture.
Is there any strategic meaning to the fact that we are the first visit? I mean, they're with us, and then they're going to the other locations, Madrid and Rio and these other places. Is that good or bad that we're first?
I think it's excellent, because Chicago is going to set out, as they did in their book presented to the Olympic Committee, that the venues that are set up in this city are all within 15 minutes of each other. And the games are all about kids. They're all about the athletes, the convenience of moving around to those venues for the athletes. And I don't think the other cities are going to present that type of venue. So they are going to set the tone for the rest of the review.
Well, clearly we are we're bringing it all out for this event, and there's been a new commercial. In fact, I have to ask you, there's a new I'm going to call it a commercial, maybe an infomercial. In fact, let me describe it. We're going to go ahead and show it to our viewers as well, because it's beautifully done, beautifully produced, and we see some great prior Olympians, Bart Connor and Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Greg Louganis. But of course, it ends with perhaps the greatest of them all. He's only in this for about 15 seconds, but let's take a look at who ends this little pitch for Chicago.
The Olympic spirit is alive in Chicago. We are ready.
Michael Jordan. I mean, but who is this ad for? I mean,
certainly if Chicago didn't bring out Michael Jordan in support of the 2016 games in Chicago, we wouldn't be the city of Chicago. I think the ad, if you truly look at it and what's in it, it talks about the diversity of this city, about the competition of the games, from the amateur status all the way up to the pro status. Chicago is a great sports town. We support our athletes. Again, whether it's from grade school through the universities, all around this metropolitan area, we're a great sports town.
Now, I know you're not in Springfield. Your job is more local here. You're home. You're in Palos Hills doing your thing and all these committees. But Springfield has, and probably because they were required to, committed $250 million to the Olympics in the event that there is a loss down the line. Without putting, I don't think, an inappropriate hat on you, I mean, this state is in really tough economic conditions. Is this the time to guarantee $250 million?
Paul, honestly, with the way, the economic condition in this country is, the Olympics are certainly not on the top of anybody's, at least the average citizen in the street, on the top of their choice of things that should or should not be done. But, it's here, it's now. The Olympic International Committee is here to take a look at Chicago. And one of the unique things about the Olympic Games is that most other, in fact, all other countries than the United States, their state governments basically put the insurance policy behind the games. Our country has never, done that in the past, nor are we in the future. So it's financial guarantees that they're asked to be backed up with, and certainly the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois was asked to step in for about $250 million of it. But the idea of the games is that to create the sponsorship to get the games, actually the cost of the games, paid for by the private sector. Nobody else in the world does it.
And obviously, you got to pull out all the plugs in this. And Mitt Romney was recently in town, and we had a chance to catch up with him. And we asked him about the role of President Obama, because Mayor Daley has already said, guess what? We're going to pull out the stops, and we're sending the president in to do it. Let me show you what Mitt Romney said about the importance of using President Obama for this.
I think the president should weigh in favor of the Olympics and encourage IOC members and non-aligned nations to support Chicago. I think his weight and his involvement actually makes it far more likely that we win the game. So it's not going to take a lot of his time. I think a quick trip to Copenhagen to say, hey, we're behind these games would make a big difference.
There you go. Mitt Romney, kind of a businessman himself, wanted to be president. Maybe he'll try it again one day. But there he is, just saying you've got to pull out the big guy.
What an aligning of the stars, if you want to call it that. I mean, when the Olympic ideal was first thought of, nobody thought Barack Obama would be president of the United States. And the fact that he's from Chicago, that we want the games, I think what he has to say and what we all feel is very true. Barack Obama is going to be, we think, the main person who this Olympic Committee is going to look at and say, yes, you can have the games.
Do you really think that makes, we're all sitting, we're proud of, that the president comes from our hometown and all of that, but the question is, the people who make this decision, are they really swayed by that kind of stuff?
With all the events that are going on right now, with them reviewing the sites, checking out the city of Chicago, a lot of it is politics. In fact, most people would probably say most of it is politics. And the United States has always been a leader of the world. Our opportunity to host these games in Chicago with a president backing it will go a long, long way.
All right. Well, we want to talk about cost. And you know what? There are a lot of concerns that some people have raised about some reasons that Chicago shouldn't have the Olympics. In fact, perhaps the position is doesn't deserve to have the Olympics here. Those are pretty tough words, but we're going to find out exactly what those arguments are when we're back after these word statements.
I'm in opposition of the games because, as fellow Chicagoans, they're hearing nothing but about money being taken out of our system, out of social programs, the parks, transportation. We're always being asked to do less and less with the money that's being allotted to us.
Hey, Daley, ain't it clear? We don't want the Olympics here. Hey, Daley, ain't it clear? We don't want the Olympics here.
I think it's important to speak up because we have enough problems in our city as it is. Inviting a bunch of international visitors to come gawk at it isn't going to fix anything.
My concern is that I don't think it can make money, and I think the taxpayer in the city of Chicago is going to get left holding the bag.